Hey, what's up, YouTubers? Welcome back to thetutelage.com. And today I would be going ahead and I would be showing you how to create a login page from the credentials we are saving in our database on every single registration. Okay, but before we move any forward or before we create any kind of a login script, I just want to show you one thing. As if any one of you have ever tried to put any kind of styles on these errors, you might not be able to do that because, guys, this is not actually the part of our HTML till now. So in order to style your errors or in order to style your success message, you need to put them inside your HTML markup, and that's gonna be very easy. So instead of echoing them out here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make them equals to a variable. Okay, so anytime there would be an error, that would be equal to a variable called $error. Okay, or you can make it equal to any of the variable you want. This one would be $error, and this one would be $error as well. And out here, once if they are able to make a successful registration, then we're gonna make it equal to a variable called $success, so that we can provide a different kind of styles to this particular success message. So what I'm gonna do is inside my register.php page, anywhere on the top, I'm gonna say php if is set $error. Okay, again, if you people remember, you're gonna break down the is and set. That means if something is set to go. So if is set $error, then only go ahead and echo a div, and let's the div ID to be an error, and here I would be saying $error. Just make it like this, and in the last like this. Okay, guys, so let me explain you once again what I'm actually doing out here. What we are doing is we are finding if there is any kind of an error variable that has been set. This variable will only get set if there would be these errors. Okay, then we're gonna echo out a div, as this is a string, so we're gonna put it inside single or double quotes. I'm using single quotes for now. And as we are writing a variable after a string, we need to append a period sign. So I'm appending a period sign, then the variable, then here is the end of the variable, so I'm gonna append a period sign again, then again my string, and here a semicolon because it is the end of a statement and the end of my if curly brace. Okay, in the same way, I'm gonna echo it, I'm gonna copy it, sorry, and I'm gonna say div ID success, and inside here I would be saying success, and here would be success. So if there is success, then go ahead and echo them out. So if I'll go back, I'm gonna refresh the page, I'm gonna hit register, and you people will see the same kind of an error, but it is not on the corner. Now it is out here on the top, and it is inside a div, so you can provide any kind of a style, some padding, a red color, or all the styles you people want. If you want an image of an error, and the same way the success message gonna work. And I believe that's all for the registration page. I'm not gonna make any more registrations now. You people can try it from your side, and if you face any kind of error, you can always leave some comments. And out here, I will be creating a new page, and that would be equal to our login.php page. Again, my basic HTML markup from my entire bundles. And guys, I have been receiving a lot of comments on these bundles, how they actually work, or from where I'm getting them. So let me tell you guys, it's not something very special provided by any of the text editor. These are the bundles I created manually. So if you are interested, you can download InType. You can go to the bundle editor, and out here you can have a lot of bundles. So for the HTML, you can open it, and out here somewhere would be, okay, here it is, HTML tag, and you can paste any kind of HTML markup you people want. You can paste it here, you can hit apply, and on every HTML, and once you're gonna hit tab T after that, like this, it's gonna give you the entire HTML markup. In the same way, you can create thousands of bundles. Out here I would be saying div id form. Okay, then I would be copying some kind of a markup from here. So wrapper, I'm gonna copy the form and some p tags. Okay, and the action would be to our login.php page, and legend would be login here. Out here I would be ending the field set, and I would be ending the form tags. So instead of getting the username, we would be getting the email. If you people remember, we have the unique email every time, so every person would have a different email and a different password once they would be logging in. Here I'm gonna copy it, I'm gonna paste it here, then I'm gonna say password, and the name would be password, this would be password. Okay, and in the very last we need to submit our login button. So I'm gonna take the labels off from here, and it would be input type submit, and the name would be submit, value would be login. Okay, I believe that's fine. Now I'm gonna go to my login.php page. Okay, here it is, and if you people want, you can provide again some kind of styles to it, or I can say div id register out here, copy it and paste it here. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I'm not sure which style I provided them. You people can check it out from your side, and you can provide the styles. I'm not gonna do anything with styles right now. Out here on the top I would be saying php include scripts slash login script.php. Okay, login script.php. I'm gonna copy it, and inside my scripts folder I'm gonna create a new file with the name login script.php. Okay, then I'm gonna say if is set again, if some kind of a function is happening, or if the person is hitting the submit button. Actually, go ahead and do the following functions. First would be $email is equals to whatever a person gonna put inside that email place, and $password would be equals to $_post password. Okay, very simple. And then I'm gonna say if empty $email or empty $password. That means if they both fields are empty, the person is not putting anything, go ahead and make a variable again and say all fields are required to log in. Then you can say else, go ahead and say $password is equal to MD5 hash password. And now let me explain you what exactly I'm trying to do out here. Guys, if you will remember, every time we are getting any kind of a password from a user, we are actually encrypting them like the MD5 hash. So if a person gonna put their actual password, we will have to convert them again back to the same kind of an encryption level in order to make sure that they both match. So I use admin actually, okay? And if I'm gonna put admin out here for my password, I'm gonna make it and I'm gonna convert it to this particular big string. I believe it might be confusing, but don't worry, I'm gonna show you an example for that. Let me say echo $password, and let me take just comment this particular thing out. So I'm gonna go back and I will refresh this page. It's a syntax error on line number 18 because I'm missing my semicolons. It's perfectly fine. I'm gonna search what was the email? Okay. And then I'm gonna let's say I'm gonna write admin. Okay, on the top it says admin. So if I'm going to make a match with admin and this password, obviously they both will not match. So I will have to make it back to the same way. Now if I'm going to echo it out, let's see it's 21235 something, and it's actually same to the one in the database. So this way we can make match whether this password and this password matches to each other or not. Okay, so I'm not gonna echo it out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write a SQL query, or probably my SQL query. I'm gonna say select all from users, that would be the name of our table, where email is equals to the one user gonna put, and the password is equals to dollar password. Okay, limit it to one, only find one record, or give us a MySQL error. So what I'm doing is I'm selecting everything where the email, this particular field, okay, will match to the one I'm gonna put up here. That's our variable $email, and the password, which is this particular field, matches to the one I'm gonna put up here. So if I'm gonna put the right email and the right password, that means I'm the right person who's logging in. Then I'm gonna say num rows. Again, I'm gonna count how many rows have been returned from this query. And guys, if everything will work fine from registration to login, I'm 120% sure we're only gonna find one row. So I'm gonna say MySQL, okay, if it's equals to one. That means what I'm doing is I'm finding the number of rows that have been returned from this query. If the number of rows that were returned are equals to one, okay, then go ahead and echo you are logged in. Okay, I'm just echoing it out for testing purposes. Otherwise, I'm gonna do something else. Echo. There was an error. Okay, and actually, I'm gonna get this particular message. There was an error, and I will tell you in a second why. Admin, and it's just no database selected. My gosh, that was horrible. Include connection.php file, because without making any connection, we cannot go to a database. It says you are logged in. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Okay, because out here I had set limit to one. If I'm gonna remove it, I'm gonna get an error. That would be there was an error. Now, you people might be thinking I put the right correct credentials, so I'm getting there was an error. Guys, if you will remember, I have duplicate email ID and duplicate password out here. So that means that particular query found two rows, not one. So it found this one, then it keep on searching, and it found this one. And according to my if statement, only let the person logged in if you are only finding one row. If you're getting two, like not let the person logged in. But to just be on the safer side, you can always use the limit one out here, so it will never search for database for more than one record, I would say. So if the person is able to log in, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna say $fetch would be MySQL fetch array $SQL, and then I'm gonna say email will be equals to so what we can do is first we can fetch everything from the database by actually writing this query which says MySQL fetch array, and I'm gonna say extract $fetch. Now guys, what extract function actually do, you can search it on php.net, or you can watch one of my beginners tutorial I have on PHP on this particular extract method only. What extract will do is, let me give you a brief idea. It will let you access all of these fields as a variable. So if I'm gonna say echo $email, okay, it will give me the access to this particular field. If I'll say echo $username, it will give me access to this particular field. Okay, so I haven't created any kind of a variable called username. Still, I'm able to use it because I am using this particular extract method. So I'm going to say echo $username, and let's see what will happen. It's a syntax error on line number 23. Again, a semicolon is missing. Continue. I'm going to put my email ID, then I'm going to put my password, and here it says my username. So what we can do is we can create the session with this particular username. Now guys, sessions are actually something that will be stored in our browsers. Okay, and the sessions are the best way to find out whether a person is logged in or not. Let me do it out here, and then I'm going to explain it to you. That will make more sense. I'm going to say $session username. I'm creating this particular session username. Okay, it does not exist till now, but I'm creating it. And in order to create any kind of a session, you will have to use it the way people use like $post or $get. In the same way, PHP will let us access this particular function or method or variable, whatever you people want to call it, that is $_session. It has already been described by PHP, and you people don't have to worry about how it's working or what you need to do about it. Then I'm going to say keep the session equals to the person's username. So if I'm going to log in, my session gonna be equal to my username, that is out here, Titlage. If anyone else gonna log in, it would be equal to their username, whatever they're gonna choose. Okay, then let me echo this out. Let me say echo $_session username. So up here, I'm gonna say my email ID and my password, and here it says my actual username. But you guys, in order to create any kind of a successful session, you need to start a session on the top. So I'm gonna say session start. So this way I'm able to create a session now, and here I'm defining my session. So out here on the top I created one, and out here on the bottom, if the person is logged in successfully, I'm defining my session that this particular session would be equals to that person's username. Okay, then here I can make a check if you are able to create a session successfully. User name, and it would be if is set $session username, go and head the person to a new file that would be header location index.php that we haven't created, but we can create one right now. First, let me create the file out here. That would be index.php, or you can head to any of the file you want. So let me refresh, and guys, see, now I have been redirected to a different file that says index.php. So what I'm doing is letting a person logged in out here, and if the person have the right credentials, I'm creating a session, or actually I'm defining a session out here. Then I'm making a check whether I'm able to create a session or not. If I'm able to do that, I'm heading the person to the index.php file, and header location, it's actually a PHP predefined function. You people won't have to worry about it. You will just have to write the file name where you want the person to be redirected if they are logged in successfully. Else you can say dollar error to invalid credentials. Okay, invalid credentials. So right now I have been redirected to this index.php page. Now what we need to do is out here I only would be writing some kind of a PHP, or let me okay, and write this is index. Okay, so out here I would be starting a session again. In order to match any kind of a session, or guys, actually in order to do anything with a session, you will have to start a session. So I'm starting a session out here. What I'm gonna make a check if is it dollar session username. Okay, then don't do anything else. Header location to login.php. Okay, and let me create a logout button as well, and let me write out some code for logout button as well. Then I'm going to explain to you the entire procedure, how actually it's working. So I'm going to make a link out here that will be to logout.php. Okay, here I would be saying logout, and I'm going to write some code for the logout.php page. Here I would be saying logout.php. Again, I have to start the session in order to do any kind of activity with sessions. So I'm gonna say if is set kind of a stuff again. So I'm just gonna copy it out from here. Okay, then go ahead and destroy that session. So I'm gonna say session destroy. It's a PHP inbuilt function, and head the person back to the login page. Login.php. Now come back, guys, and let me hit logout. See, I have been redirected back to the login.php page. Now let me explain to you the entire procedure, how actually we are working. Let's say someone is trying to access your index.php page directly, okay? They won't be able to do it. Just see, I'm gonna write index.php again. Index.php, and there are two dots. And see, I've been redirected back to the login.php. The reason that happened because inside my index.php page, I have a very simple and a basic check. What I'm saying is, anytime the page will be loaded, it will be loaded from the top, right? So I'm saying is, first start a session, then go ahead and check, are you able to find any kind of a session with this particular username? So that means if there is any session with $_session username. If there is, then let it be there. Also go ahead and let the person head the person to the login.php page. And the only way to create this particular session is to log in from here. If a person will log in, then only they would be able to create this particular session, else they won't be able to do it. So if I'm gonna log in from here, then only that session will get created. Otherwise, there is no other way to create this session. And the only way to access this index.php page is to have this particular session set. And what logout.php file do is, it's gonna make a check whether that particular session exists or not. Okay, it do exist. Then go ahead and destroy that session first and head the person back to the login.php page. Okay guys, and the other way to destroy the session is to close the browser. So I'm gonna say my password. See, the session got created. I've been redirected to index.php page. I'm gonna hit logout. The session have been destroyed now because we have wrote the PHP function to destroy it. Now if I'm gonna access index.php page, I will be redirected back to login.php page. So guys, that was a very simple way to work with session or with any kind of login kind of a script. Now the best thing you people can do, okay, sorry guys, my phone was running actually. Now what you people can do is, you can copy this particular code, take it away from this page. Inside your scripts folder, you can create a new file, name it to session.php. okay, just paste it out here, don't change anything. And now you can do is, you can include this file on the very top of your index.php page. So I'm gonna say include once script slash session.php. Okay, this way the people won't be able to access this page again if they are not logged in, because we're including the file, and you can include this session file to 100,000, 20,000 pages, and it's gonna work for you. So let me give you guys a very good example. I'm gonna create a new file. Let it be to abc.php, adb, whatever. Okay, now if I'm gonna access this particular page, first let me access the index.php. I'm not able to do it because we have our session file included there. Now let me access the adb.php page. I'm able to access it, though I'm not logged in. So what I can do is out here on the top, I can say include. And guys, always make sure that you're including the session file for once. So the better way to do is include once. Okay, I can say scripts slash session.php. Now if I'm gonna act really smart, I'm gonna access that page. My script not gonna let me do it until and unless I'm not gonna log in. So that was a very simple way to do it. Later I might show you guys how to add Ajax to your registration page. That what I got a request from a user, because every time a person gonna fill the form, and if it's gonna refresh, they're gonna lose the progress they have done till now, and it's a very lengthy form. So what we can do is we can add Ajax. I will show you how to do it sometime later, but for now, that's all from this particular video series. See you guys next time. Goodbye.